Yeah, that's right. Today we finna watch legacy media, mainstream media, leftist media, liberal media, all of it. We're gonna watch them get they handed to them today, okay? We're gonna see some things backfire for CNN as they try to push the J6 rhetoric and Donald Trump being a threat to democracy. Yeah, they're gonna get the hypocrite card pulled out on them. But we're gonna start off with MSNBS. Y'all know how we gotta do this, man. Look. They invited a guest on their show to hate on Trump. It backfired.
For you after that, why was it important for you to say no more Trump because of his January 6th conduct? And do you stand by that?
No, I don't stand by it. And I'll tell you why. I've now lived 4 years under the Biden-Harris policies. And I have to say that those policies are not only becoming an existential threat to our country's way of life, but to our allies as well.
So when you I'll let you finish, but this is so striking. You said it was a no for me after that, after January 6th. I did. And here we are right now.
I did.
And you're saying it's a yes for you.
It is a yes for me. It is an absolute yes for me. That is how badly the Biden-Harris team have prosecuted their job.
But the whole point you seem to be making was that January 6th and that kind of attack on democracy is bigger than any policy.
But I am seeing so many attacks on democracy that eclipse January 6th.
Now, that very last statement, man, wow, says enough in itself. Excuse me. He says, I'm seeing so many policy issues that exceed J6. Exactly. And, the comments is showing some examples right now. They're talking about he warned FEMA doesn't have enough funding to last through the hurricane season and things of that nature. Somebody else wrote, see how that interview is yelling because Democrats brook no opposition, but the brook has become a river and we're not taking this anymore. I don't know exactly what the brook is, if I'm being honest. I don't want to sit here and act like I do. I don't. But we see how it backfired on them, and that's what we enjoy to see. Now, we're going to see this too right here. CNN Scott Jennings highlights the hypocrisy of the Democrats, saying that, hey, y'all putting this, dishonesty label next to J.D. Vance and Trump and always doing this whole fact-checking thing, but y'all don't keep the same energy for Kamala or Walls.
Have an old president in office.
Okay, so everybody seems to be worried about J.D. Vance and dishonesty, or Donald Trump and dishonesty. I never hear the same concern about Harris and the lies that she tells about Trump, or in Walls himself, who gave the most disastrous response to a question about his own dishonesty about being in Tiananmen Square that I've ever heard in a debate. He also did the same thing with Dana Bash when questioned about dishonesty a couple of months ago. And effectively what he has said is, sorry, guys, I'm too dumb to tell the truth. I mean, he called himself a knucklehead. I have bad grammar. This is a guy who holds himself up to be a school teacher and a coach. Is that the life lesson he's giving the kids that are under his care? Hey, you can lie, and then you can just kind of slough it off as being, too dumb to tell the truth. I think we spend 99% of our time going down rabbit holes about Vance and Trump and honesty in campaigns, and we spend no time at all holding Walls and Harris to the same standard, and I don't understand it.
Man, I love the fact that they have him on that segment, on that show for sure. They need a voice of reason. He'd be the only reason, if I did watch it, he would be the only reason that I'm looking forward to watching somebody, decompose their lies. But let's talk a little bit more about Kamala Harris, okay? So look, she was criticized for what appeared to be a staged photo where she was seemingly receiving a briefing on Hurricane Helene, but the details, like unplugged headphones and the image raised questions about the authenticity of her engagement with the crisis. This has led her to accusations of her using the disaster for political optics rather than genuine crisis management. Excuse me. There's backlash over the announcement of providing $750 in federal aid to the Hurricane Helene victims through FEMA. And critics are arguing that the amount is insufficient given the scale of destruction, suggesting it may be more about appearing to act than providing substantial relief. Excuse me. And that's what we see with her in the Walls campaign. Acts. FEMA is broke.
Kamala Harris's response or lack of response when it came to Hurricane Helena is going to cost her the election in the end. There isn't enough time between today and election day for people to forget. And not only are they not going to forget, they're being reminded of Hawaii, of all the other natural disasters that took place over the last couple of years where the people didn't get any help. $750 is just the start. No, they're not. FEMA's broke. FEMA is broke. This was Mayorkas yesterday, and he came out and said that they don't have enough funding to last the rest of the season. And the reason that they don't have enough money to last the rest of the hurricane season is that the bulk of that money that they were allotted for the year was used to house, feed, and clothe the illegal immigrants that came over the border. That was all part of FEMA's new program that they had started back in July. All those videos with the free housing and the food stamps and the free clothes and all of that stuff, that was a part of FEMA. It was money that was to be set aside for when things like Hurricane Helena happens. $640 million for migrant funding. $567 million for Taiwan. $8.7 billion for Israel. The amount of money that we've given to Ukraine is in the uncountable billions. Ukraine's FEMA department's probably doing great. You think you hate these people, you don't hate these people enough. There are reports, these are unsubstantiated reports, but they are reports from people on the ground in the areas of the devastation are saying that FEMA is turning away donations, that FEMA is taking people's money and not distributing it to the people that need help. That's so bad that the branch of FEMA, which is out of Tennessee, had to put out a statement. The whole thing was misinformation and that they weren't in fact stealing people's money and that they weren't in fact not allowing other donations to come in. They are not in fact confiscating supplies. There are people on the internet, influencers that are making videos with video proof that they are. That's exactly what they're doing. Or they're turning people away. Nobody in the comments that nobody believes these people. They don't trust them anymore. We don't trust you anymore. You know what? That's so sad because our tax dollars is what funds FEMA. In a corporate situation, an outcry like this, an allegation like that would at very least determine an investigation and then probably get you fired because we're technically your boss because, we provide you paychecks. But no, they're just going to put out a statement. No, we're not. Boy, nobody believes you. And there's some dark shit going on too. Like they're not letting everyday people fly in and out with their personal aircrafts to try and get people out of there. They threatened to arrest one guy because of it. There are reports on the ground of bodies just laying around of people that are starving to death. They are dying. And the government's not doing anything about it because with all the people dead across the lithium line, it makes it a lot easier for the government to come up and snatch that land. That's probably bullshit. Kamala Harris's response to the victims of Hurricane Helena is going to cost her the election. Trump will probably win the election, but she probably won't certify it. They'll start screaming about Russian involvement and Russian collusion. They'll get the media on board with it too, and they'll spin the narrative. It's going to be a fight. We don't hate these people enough.
I love that she makes some great points like that, man. I want y'all to make sure y'all follow her. Shipwreck Show, spelt correctly, Shipwreck Show on X, the platform. But this is what I want y'all to see. This video right here, it's extremely embarrassing. Notice how Kamala makes sure the cameras are ready before she starts slumping over in her brand new crisis jacket.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met, such as food, baby formula, and the like. And you can apply now for anyone who's watching this who has been affected.
These people, man, these people. Every single, this is when you thought it was like, it was over. Or, they gonna at least have some sort of change of heart. Nah, bro. They $700 here, but they want to give billions to Ukraine. They want to push out billions to illegals. They want to make sure America is last. But this is the same woman who's promising $25,000 to first-time new homeowners. Oh man, we definitely go into the comment section. It's nice to see our government values its citizens so highly. Nothing screams you matter quite like messily $750 while they funnel billions to foreign nations. Kamala thinks $750 fixes everything while ignoring the real problems. Hurricane victims deserve way more than crumbs, especially when illegal aliens are treated better. Time to put America first and stop this nonsense. And taxpayer funded I ain't even gonna read that one. 50 more bucks than people in Hawaii got. That sucks, man. The fact that she has to read every word highlights her incompetence.
Looking at your resume here, you've helped out in Haiti, Israel, Afghanistan, and now you're on your third hurricane. Where are you today? What are you going to be doing knowing that the government, in your words, is too big and too slow to help?
Well, they are too big and too slow. And thanks for going ahead and covering this. Again, we're so quick to forget things like the incidents in Maui or hurricanes here in Florida, or even the recent hurricane with Hurricane Helene that's impacted North Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia so much. But we'll focus and prioritize illegal criminal migrants as well as for borders 9,000 miles away. Again, I think America needs to get its priorities straight. But really right now, what we're trying to do is to continue to bring supplies. So as of yesterday on day 3, we've distributed about 13,000 pounds of various supplies, everything from Starlink systems to different locations that are completely remote and cut off and isolated so that we can get our missing persons numbers down. Remember, a lot of people are saying, well, I haven't heard from my family member since the last text I received, which is that it's getting bad. And so that obviously allows us to be able to cut down the number of welfare checks that we're doing, as well as for search and rescue missions. We're distributing generators today, food supplies, and mostly medications. Again, people are running short on insulin, on oxygen bottles, on key essentials. And so we've got a cost of 212 that every single day we're loading with different materials, thanks to great organizations and charities like Mercury One, thanks to organizations like Universal Air, who utilize the helicopters to be able to do remote pickup and rotary wing. But we're also doing evacuations. Just the other day, there's an 83-year-old man, it was his birthday actually, who was suffering from signs of hypertension or cardiac arrest. And this is a guy who has been having cancer treatments, and he had to be immediately medevaced from Bailey, North Carolina, where we picked him up, all the way over to Johnson City. So we're hitting about 3-4 cities a day. Yesterday, we hit Pensacola, and talking to the fire chief there was very, very disheartening. He said they had 4 fatalities recently, 2 of which they knew that floated down the river they couldn't get to. And he said that they'll be recovering bodies, unfortunately, throughout the end of the year. So this is a horrific incident. There's towns that are absolutely devastated. And my question is, again, where's the federal government? Where's the rest of our elected officials?
Where are you, Kamala? Donald Trump even pulled up and set up a whole GoFundMe page that raised over $1 million. Come on, man. And our government is doing nothing. But y'all want to reelect them? I don't understand, man. Make it make sense to me, man. I don't get it. Kamala, that is, she's attending what seems to be a political fundraiser. She's at the FEMA headquarters, it says. That goes to show how out of touch she is with the people. Kamala does not care about you. Donald Trump is not doing this for votes. This pattern of behavior of having compassion for people and helping people is something that has never changed. And I can definitely agree to that, man. Donald Trump is somebody whom I've seen time and time again just show grace and empathy to those in need, man. But I want y'all to watch this last video. Another American citizen confirms he's been told do not help Hurricane Helene. I know I keep calling it Helen. I'm sorry, y'all. Victims by Kamala Harris, the Kamala Harris administration. It's disheartening, man. Check it out.
When I tell y'all I'm super frustrated at the moment, is not a lie. For the past 48 hours, I had planned to go to East Tennessee, Irwin, Newport, and all that tomorrow. And for the last 48 hours, I've also been on the phone with EMA, operational people, trying to see who may need my thermal drone most and whoever I could assist better. And then I get a phone call and an email where we're being told to stand down. I've also spoken to rescue crews that are there right now, and it's one thing I'll say about social media. Most people know, and somebody knows somebody and they see somebody. I've had emails where I've had a woman named Laura ask for help. Her brother got swept away. They have a video of him being swept away, and she's just asking for help to get him. And yet we're being told to stand down. I have heard from people, Danielle and Alex, no offense to y'all. I've heard from these 2 people about how he went to take generators and supplies there and he was turned down. The water, food, stuff like that, turned down. Why? You have people that really need things. And I get it. It's such a disarray. I understand this was all so fast, But at the end of the day, man, putting a halt to everything while there's people's lives at stake that are sitting out there somewhere that don't have anything, that may be trapped, may be hurt, and you're asking people to stand down that have the capabilities to help somebody, it doesn't make sense to me. Make it make sense. I don't understand. Now, if you was going to tell me, hey, the military's coming in here, Coast Guard's coming in here, they're in here immediately, maybe it would. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But being told, hey, man, yeah, just hold off for a minute. We're trying to get things figured out. Steve Fisher got told the same thing. Others have been told the same thing. Even crews that are in there working right now have been told to stand down. Why? And it's in certain locations. But when FEMA comes out and says it, it's for the whole general area across Tennessee. And I'm sure the Carolinas are doing the same, Nashville. Frustrated is an understatement, man. See, my whole life has been, I've done things, I messed up. For the past 10 years, I've done everything I could to change who I am and just to generally rebuild myself. And I always told myself, no matter what, be selfless, help others, no matter what. Nobody's situation is worse than anybody's. And when people get in a bind like this, everybody needs help. So you do whatever you can to get off your ass and you go help them. And it just frustrates me because I have something that I know would help. Steve has one of the best drones there is. He has 30 MT. That is one of the top fucking thermal drones, man. And yet we're being told to stand down. It doesn't make sense to me. Look, man, I won't be in the way. Hell, I have trucks, trailers. I could bring water, food, anything they need. I could stock it full. Bring it to them. But I'm being told to stand down. Why? Make it make sense. Do you know there's videos right now going around of people fighting for water that's coming off these trucks? If y'all ain't seen it yet, you will. It's unreal, man. It's famine. I mean, it is absolutely destroying to one's core and heart to watch people, just everyday people, be put in a situation like this and have to fight for food in their life. And I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional about this because it pisses me off. Pisses me. I don't understand it. While my kids and my wife's in here laying down and they're sleeping in a comfortable bed tonight. You have families that have nothing anymore. Swept away. Gone. But yet we're being told to stand down. For what? Please tell me why.
And you know what's sad? Well, first of all, let me say this. Who told this guy no? That's the person we need to be, finding out about. That's all that really matters. We can't fight these guys without knowing who to fight. But somebody else wrote, which is really important. This guy was trying to help the wrong people, citizens. Now, if he offered to help fly illegals across our border, he would have been considered a hero to them.